So Kyle says, for Ctr manipulation methods, all right, for keyword volume, this was a question, right? He gave it to me. He parlayed it, okay? Chris mentioned the 25% number. So if the number one spot, I'm going to answer this question first. So if the number one spot is getting 100 branded searches a month, you send 25 searches in 1 week, question mark. And then let's say your main keyword gets 100 searches a month. Would you also send 25 searches a week for that keyword? You also mentioned in the last video that you would add your brand and main keyword as a search. Would you also do that for 25 clicks a week? Appreciate your help. So let's dissect this. And then what I really want to give you is a deeper understanding of what kind of traffic, what's traffic, how this should be done, more of a schedule. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I want to break down the different types of traffic, what they are, how they affect, and then give you a schedule, because that was one thing that the training was lacking. Note, when I created this training live. All right. I did it. I made it in one day. Boom. I did it on a live stream, and then I broke it up in the videos to share to help more people. It helped me. It helped my clients. I wanted to help more people. You can tell that it's a helping device by the number, right? The objective is to help. So with that being said, hey, there's even some stumbles I even noticed inside the training I was watching. Like, it's hard to get very specific, exact URL data utilizing SEMrush, and I use SEMrush all the time. How I do that and how I come up with a figure is another thing that I want to share with you today, because that's another question that I've gotten numerous times. So let's dissect this. All right, I digress. Let's get back into this. Is everything running okay? All right, so Kyle and people in the group, let me take care of this first, all right? And I'll break this out and I'll send it over to you. All right, brother. So the 25% number. So some of these, depending on the search terms, for a lot of local searches, which is what I recommend utilizing this for, is primarily local. That's what I do. I don't use it for YouTube. I don't use it for anything other than organic and maps. Maps is even a little trickier because you can't even come up with a definitive answer. You have to guess based on the traffic from the top performers. It's still a guess. All right. Anyway, so the very first thing is the 25% number. So if the number one spot is getting 100 brand searches a month, you send in 25 searches for a week. No. So if the top performer, it's month by month basis. If the top performer is getting 100, the top guy is getting 100 on a monthly basis, then we don't want to send in 25 each week. We want to send in 25 extra for the month. Now, because of limitations of the platform that we're utilizing for the bulk CTR method, which is what you're referring to, the minimum is 30. So I need to issue 30 job opportunities in order to have this performed, okay? So this is where the scheduling comes in. So if the number's 100, I need to send in 30, okay? Now, inside of that message, I said, hey, use your noggin, and I didn't mean that as disrespect. I meant that because, when we're talking about numbers of 100 or 50 and search volumes that are really low, local markets, the numbers, the tools aren't 1,000% accurate. They're simply not. So that's what I meant by use your noggin. And when we're talking about the branded search terms or brand plus keyword search terms, a brand plus keyword search term is not a branded term. It contains branded, but if you take a look, and we're going to go over a lot of different examples today I want to share with you. But if you take a look at your competitor, most of them, I would say 90% of all the accounts I've looked at, if in the past year, if I've looked at 150 accounts, probably say that's about accurate. The chances of seeing a brand plus keyword at a high enough volume, maybe it's less than 10 searches a month that they're receiving that. I like to add that in, right? I might say, hey, if I'm doing a bunch, if I'm issuing 30 separate jobs, I might have somebody do that over the course of a month, add in a few, but that's not first. All right. A brand plus keyword is its own. There's 5 kinds of traffic. All right. So, and we're going to talk about that. So I hope that clarifies that and that question. So Kyle and the group, to answer that question, brief and fast and right to the point, if the top performer is getting 100, then that means I would start off in that first month. We need to slightly increase that. You know, I would get that number up. That would mean 25 for the entire month. Now, I know that might not seem like a lot, but we're talking about you're probably not in the top performing pages. You know, to automatically just jump in there with a quarter of what the top performer is receiving when, you know, you have a brand new website or something that's going from 8 up plus your regular plus another 25, you know, that's a massive jump. That's another thing what I mean by like use your noggin a little bit, you know? That's what I mean by that. So I hope that clarifies that. You know, this is a month-by-month basis. Generally, the tools are reporting on a month-by-month basis. I would go slow. Do not be in a rush when you're indexing your links, when you're doing your link building. When the only thing that happens fast is when I make on-page changes. When I'm sending traffic, even that takes time. So take your time, go slow. It's on a month-by-month basis. We want to increase the amount, the percentage of branded first before we start doing anything. If you want to cut that in half and you want to do it bi-weekly, that's up to you, but that's not recommended. My recommendation is take your time, increase branded so I can start introducing keyword plus traffic. All right. Now that answers that question. Let's keep going here. All right. I got to turn my fan. Now my throat's hurting a little bit, but that's okay. Maybe I'll just tone it down a little bit here. All right. All right, so hopefully that's the first half of the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them after we talk here and after we get through this. We can talk about that. So Kyle, I appreciate that. Now let me just take a look here. Let me make sure that I have this complete. So would you also send 25 searches a week for that? Okay. Then you also mentioned in the last video that you would add your brand plus main keyword as a search. Would you also do that for 25 clicks a week? Appreciate your help. You know, I mentioned within the training, and again, I did it relatively quick, but that's irrelevant, right? During the training, I said, hey, you know, I would start off with the branded search terms first. We need to increase the branded because there should be zero reason that you're receiving keyword traffic if you're not getting brand recognition first, right? So I need to increase the brand. And if you want to throw in a couple, right? I understand it's a scientific group, but we're dealing with non-exact numbers to begin with. So, you know, use your best judgment. As far as the branded though, I would take care of the branded first and then start introducing your other types of keyword traffic. All right, so I hope that helps you out. That's what I do. Generally, I will get into a rush, much like you do, but I don't want you to do that. All right, so let's go on. You're looking for a small boost, a small edge. You're just looking for a boost. And this is all after we know that you have all of the other elements in place. You have all the foundation. You have the site, you have your license numbers listed, you have your terms of service, your privacy policy, you have the right schemas in place, you have your authors, you've done all of the legwork, you have quality content, quality internal linking, your page structure is good, your navigation is good, your internal linking is good, right? You have the images to the content ratio down pat. Like you have everything else in place. Don't overthink it. If it's 100, I send in 25 extra for the month. As I'm if I'm already getting a decent amount of traffic, then I might slightly increase that. I might do it over the course of 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, but I would not be in a rush and just jam it all in there. All right, so I hope that clears that up. Okay, moving on. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and clear this out. What I want to do is I want to clear the canvas. And what I want to do is format this background, and we're going to go here. All right, we're going to go for blue. We're going to take out our pen. So back to business. All right, so hopefully that clears that up. So let me go ahead and discuss this. All right, so I need a dippy. So in this video, what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and take you through a process. All right, I want to take you through a schedule. You know, how much traffic at what time and what types of traffic should I be sending? Also, how do I determine what types of traffic I should be sending? All right, so let me cover that with you right now. So there's 5 types of traffic. Number 1 is there is branded traffic. All right, so there's branded traffic. 2, number 2, there's location based. Number 3 is LSI traffic, or co-occurring keyword traffic. So you have branded, location, LSI, keyword. So that would be exact, partial. And number 5 is brand plus. Brand plus could be anything, including your brand. Okay. So these are the 5 different types of traffic. So let's go over to an example so we can start to determine what these are and what you should be looking at. All right. So most importantly, so we did a search here. All right. So let's start from the beginning. I was looking at something for someone else, but that's okay. We could just use this as an example. All right. So let's say that we're targeting Houston roofing. Okay. So we're going to do more than one, but for this video, let's just concentrate on the one. Let's say we're shooting for Houston roofing. All right. Houston roofing, the top performing person should actually be Rose. I'm surprised. Let's look up roofers. Okay. Let's do roofing Houston. So they're Rose, so it looks like they're bouncing in and out. That's okay. We'll use them. So let's just do Houston. So roofing Houston, Texas. Only because I already have it up. Let's see who's in there. Yeah, Rose Roofing. That's what I was thinking. This roofing Houston, Texas, the reason why I want to use that is because that's the highest volume. Okay. So roofing Houston, Texas. All right. It has some of the better volume, right? $5.90. It's a $16, darn near a $17 keyword. You have your top performer, which is going to be Rose Roofing. All right. So with that being said, with it being Rose Roofing, what we're looking for is, I want to touch on a couple of things. Somebody in my group asked me, his name's John, right? Great guy, nice guy, UK guy, cool dude. All right, let me touch on that. So Chris, you know, how do I determine when all of these things are pretty much targeting the root domain? Well, if you're in the training or you're not, you have to note that, hey, if the top performing keyword, if the keyword that I want to win is you put it in and you do a search and you have your top performing website, which is this one, that page is there because it's getting traffic for more than the primary keyword that it's ranking for. So what we're trying to match and mirror is all the other traffic. That's the key. And why that's magical is because all of those other keywords, those five types, all of those different types are much lower than the exact match. 9 times out of 10, what you're going to find is the most prominent keywords are going to be branded. That's why I focus heavily on branded. I'm not going to be even getting any. I've been able to just slightly increase rank just based off branded traffic. So these are your 5 types. If I want to win roofing Houston, Texas, I need to determine what other keywords is that page ranking for. The reason is because if they're ranking for those keywords, they're getting traffic for those keywords. By understanding what they're ranking for, I can understand what traffic I need to send. Once I know what traffic I need to send, I need to start setting up buckets so I can give it to the worker so I can start running these searches. So how I determine, because like he mentioned, he's like, well, how do I figure out? Because you can't, because if I take Rose Roofing, right? And this page right here, here's Rose Roofing, they're number one for this particular term. If I come in here and I go to just that exact URL, it's not going to give me any data, right? And regardless of the tool you're using, you know, when we're looking at these local SERPs, you generally don't get any type of volume. So the workaround in what I do is I just put in the root domain, and then whatever page is ranking, I look and I see. This is how I start developing my list. I could see that, okay, 29% is roofers near me, roof repair near me, right? This is where I'm going to determine what traffic I need to start sending clicks in for. See, this particular brand here, I'm looking, but it can't be roofers near me, because look at that, they have a near me page, roofing near me page, right? I teach this too. People didn't understand that concept, but here's an example of it winning. In any case though, very high volume. This is 30% of all their traffic. But what I'm looking for is I need to match and mirror the page that is winning for the search term that I want. Why? Because if they're ranking for those keywords, they're getting traffic for those keywords. If I need to start sending in traffic for those keywords as well. So then I'm start bucketing. Let's start figuring out, okay, what's going on here. So once we get down in here, we can start to figure out, okay, these are different pages than the one that I'm trying to compete with, right? So the number one thing that they're getting traffic for on the page that's winning the keyword that I want, right? Remember, roofing Houston TX, that's the number one $17 keyword. It's roofing, it's in Houston. This is the page I want to beat. Here's what I need to mirror. Here's the page that's winning the keyword that I want, the big Dundada keyword. Okay, this is what I need to start mirroring. So as you can see here, their number one that's driving percentage-wise of traffic to that page that's helping them rank is branded. That's always the case. Always. Almost always. So we can see, okay, here's Rose Roofing. They're getting 8.59% of their traffic. They're getting what, 2.6? It's a simple calculation, really. So 2,000, right? 600. Minus, what do they got? What is it? 9%. 234. 234 minus 25% equals, you got to figure that out yourselves. I'm not doing it. That would be the number that I would send in for that one. Then I would just move on to the next one. Okay, Houston Roofing. Okay, there's another one. So what are they getting? They're getting 7.94% of all their traffic. So it's 7.94% of 2,600 on a monthly recurring basis. What's the number? This is the top performer. This is the number to beat for that keyword. It's as easy as that. Each of these fit into a bucket. Almost at no time are you going to see keyword plus brand. It's very rare. It's very rare. So the only thing that I'm going to do with that is this, and this might go back into their question, right? So when we're looking at number 5 here, really the only time that I'm going to start using that is once I'm already starting to see a result. Like, I've done all the on-page work. I've optimized the pages. I've taken care of the internal linking. I'm sending the traffic, right? Let's start breaking down schedule. I think this will be greatly helpful. All right. So I'm not sure how we can draw in here, but we're going to try it though. That's what we're going to do. We're going to try like heck, aren't we? So here, let's see if we can get this onto here. All right. So let's see if we can draw in here. That would be super cool, man. I would really like that because this inks to shape. And let's start breaking down a schedule for you, okay? Much like your link building, much like your on page, all right? Depending on budget and how aggressive you want to be, all right? Budget, time, and how aggressive. Aggressiveness really plays into how much time you're willing to wait for a result but don't push it too hard. And also it's very much reliant on budget. I get a lot of people that say, hey, budget doesn't matter, but there's still a threshold depending on the keyword, right? Like we know that this guy, let's say that this was the keyword, Rose Roofing, they're getting for their branded key phrase, 8.599% of all their traffic is coming in branded. What is that, like 200 and some clicks? You know, I can't just start sending in an extra 200 to my website that's on page 3. I just can't do that. Even if your budget is astronomical, there's still a period of time that needs to be waited. Like, it's as easy as that. But when I have more budget, then I can start sending in all these other words. So what I'm looking for is you need to start coming into here and figuring out, hey, where is the traffic going to the page that's ranking for the keyword that I want? You got to start mapping these out and start sending in campaigns or crafting campaigns that match and mirror what this guy's already doing. And you need to do this on top of number 1, number 2, number 3. To get a better idea too, you can also look not even at the top performers, but you could look slightly above you, but it has to be on the first page. All right, so let's map this out because I think this would be helpful. Oh, and John, if you're seeing this, I hope that makes sense to you. All right, I don't know if you caught that or not. So you asked me in the other video, do you see how I did that? You know, you're like, because you can't, because I ran into this too. I'm trying to figure out just that URL, what kind of traffic's coming into that page, right? They don't necessarily break it down. Like you'll come in here and you're trying to figure it out. So the workaround that I do is this. I'll pull in that root. I'll come in here to the 650 keywords. We're just using this as an example. And I'll come in here and I have to establish, okay, what's their traffic? Right? So the traffic is going to be on a monthly basis. So they're getting 2.6. So once I come in here and let's say I want to win that roofing Houston, Texas keyword, right? $17 keyword, 590 volume total. I know that one of the first things that I need to determine is my branded search terms, right? So how much volume do I need to send in? To come up with a definitive answer, it goes a little like this, all right? I'm going to do it this time. So if the total is 2,600 on a monthly recurring basis, and I know that this is the top performer for this particular keyword, their branded search term, right? Rose Roofing is 9%. I'm figuring out minus 9%. Minus 9% is 234. Okay. So let's say that this is a campaign. Let's do it that way. Let's say this is the flipping campaign. All right. So we're going to say roofing, Houston, Texas. All right. So branded 234. All right. So that's 234. So we would take that. We're going to do 234 minus 25%. So that's 58. That's 60. So 60 is a good. So I would be sending in 60 for myself in the month. So say you're inside the campaign, like how would you work that out? Well, I would be working it out as, so it's 30 per. So I would probably, you'd have to work with the speed. So I'd probably plug in the 60 for the month. And in order to get it to wave out, I'd go for top tier, not including like India, China, you know, maybe first tier country workers is probably what I would do without a doubt. Not because the international doesn't work, just because they fill slower. I would utilize them, and then I'd probably set the speed at around 20 instead of the 40 or 50 that's recommended. All right. And you might have to slow it down just a little bit more to really eke it out. But I would venture to guess that you're probably, that 60 you'd probably get that done in about 3 weeks. It would probably take you at least 3 weeks to flip that out. So there we go. We have our branded is that. So now, as we're coming through here, what else do we need to come up with? So again, we want to beat that page. So what are they getting? They're getting this one. They got this one. All right. What other pages? Because again, you know, we're not necessarily able to sort these. All right. So that's 0.26. So 0.26. So I would just literally come inside of here and I'm just looking for that page. Like, where are they getting their traffic? Look at this. Ken Rose Roofing. Like, what, does Ken work there? You know, like, why are they getting these types of keywords? So look at www.roofing. So they were doing a top tier competitor. And you want to know what's funny about this page too? What I noticed is if you switch this out to traffic percentage, they're using these types of strategies. Because I started noticing, like, when you come into here, you're going to find at the lower percentages your LSI or co-occurring keyword search clicks that you need. Much like for your anchor text, you know, I showed an example the other day. It was the guy was ranking for plumber New York, but his top anchor text was 24-hour plumbing, right? He's ranking for the primary, but this is his anchor text that's coming in, right? And when I went and I checked, that was also the top performing traffic that was coming in, but he's winning the biggest term. Interesting, right? So these are some of the ones as you're going through your campaign that we want to focus on, but we have to please note that we're looking for that page that's winning that term. That's what we're trying to mirror. It's not everything. It's just that page. So let's come into here. Here's another one, right? You see how I'm collecting these? I'm collecting the data. All right. And then I'm going to spit it out and we can do the math later to determine how it's going to fit into my campaign. Because even when you have these small or tiny keywords, then I'm going to set that up and just make it as slow as possible. Again, it's not going to be an exact science. It simply can't be. And the reason for that is this data is not exact and I have to hire 30 workers at a time. Like, it's not exact. It's simply not exact. I have yet to see a demotion. The only way that I get a demotion is if I whack it too hard, too fast. So I've talked about, all right, let's break up this schedule now. All right. So let me give you an idea of a schedule. All right. Now, depending on how aggressive you want to be, most campaigns for us are going to be in a 90-day window. All right. Like, that's pretty much what I've been doing because the first month is focused on branded. You know, let's see if we can draw this out for everybody. All right, I think that this could be helpful. Actually, you know what? Let's take it over here to Paint. That way I can post it on my website. And I'll be able to share it. This is what we'll do. All right, so if we're running a 3-month campaign, all right, so it's a 3-month. All right, let's do it this way. That way everybody has on the same path. 3-month campaign. All right. And then anything that you want to do, if you want to be more aggressive, then you're just going to double the amounts or triple the amounts. It's as easy as that. I highly discourage, though, doing everything all in 1 month. Do not get in a rush with this stuff. All right. So this is a 3-month campaign. All right. So no matter what, we're going to focus on branded first. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The very first thing that I want to take care of month 1. All right. Here, let's get this down to a size that is actually legible. So, month 1. All right. So, month 1, here, let's go white. We'll bring this down into here. We'll bring this up to a size that's, again, legible. So, this is going to be month number 1. Right? Month 1. What I want to focus on month 1 is going to be branded. Branded keywords. All right? Month 1 is going to be branded. Branded keywords. That I pretty much don't mess around at all. Number 1, unless it's going to be branded. It's just, there's no reason for me to be getting an influx unless my brand searches are going up. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't do it that way. It just doesn't even make sense to me. So 3-month campaign, month 1 is going to be branded. Soon as we get into month 2, if we go over here and we take this, let's take this over. We're going to duplicate it. We'll just paste that right into here. We'll go month 2. So this is going to be month number 2, right? So we'll just do a 2. Okay. Here, let's do it this way. Cut. Cut. All right, let's do month number 2. Month 2. All right, let's do month number 2. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, please ask them. I'll be more than happy to answer them to you. Month number 2 is you never shut off the branded. Never, ever shut off branded. Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is we're going to increase the branded. So when we move into month number 2, this never shuts off. Only increases. Okay? So this never shuts off. It only increases. That's true. So month number 2 is where we start introducing, we're going to have our brand, but now to make the difference, all right? And what I mean by difference is as I'm increasing, remember, let's go back to our example briefly. Think about this. If the top performer, let's say that this is the keyword, okay? If the top performer, okay, let's use this as an example. I'll give you the visual representation here. If I want to win roofing Houston, Texas, all right? Roofing Houston, Texas. The top performer is Rose Roofing, right? That page is going to tell me the answers. I put it into the tool. I take a look to see their traffic percentage. I can see that these are not the pages that are winning the term that I want to win. The very first thing that they're getting the most volume for, like always usually, is their branded search phrases, right? They're a top performer. They're getting brand traffic. People know who they are. Real brands get real traffic. They also rank for keywords. Always. So with that being said, I can see here that Rose Roofing, if they're getting their traffic 9% of 2.6 thousand, I need to come to a realization that, hey, that's going to be 234 clicks. 25% of that for the first month is going to be 60. Now, when I move into month number 2, remember, this number here is 234. That's what the top performer is receiving. So now my organic branded traffic should be also increasing along with when I move into month 2, so is my manipulated traffic. That's going to increase too. It has to. But this is where we can start introducing to start increasing that number. Now we want to start making associations. What do we make associations with? Well, that's why I call it brand plus. Is it going to be brand plus location? Is it going to be brand plus keyword? Is it going to be brand plus LSI? Well, that's when you have to make your decision. Well, what's the top performer getting most of their traffic for? Because that's where we need to make the biggest things that make the biggest jumps come earlier in the campaign. The stuff as we're doing maintenance and we're just letting it ride as we increase. We're going to always have our branded. We're going to have our branded plus. We're going to have our keywords. But then we also need to start incorporating when we get to month 3. That's where we're going to start adding all this stuff that they're only getting 1 or 2 clicks. That's where we could start throwing stuff in. But what am I going to send in next? All right, well, I need to figure out what is their next keywords that they're receiving. So this next page that's getting the most traffic, here's roofing companies in Houston. Well, we already know that's what it's going to be. Roofing. That's actually quite interesting. Where they're winning this particular key phrase, roofing companies in Houston. They're also getting traffic for that, but they're winning number 1. They're getting more traffic for roofing companies in Houston. Why? Because it has more volume. Makes sense. But they're number 1 for roofing Houston TX. Not according to SEMrush, but according to Google from where I search from. Then their next thing is roof repair Houston. All right. Roof repair Houston. Also, if I'm going to be sending traffic and you don't have these words somewhere on that page on your website, get them on the website. Okay. I would assume, though, if you're a roofing company, you're going to have words like roof repair Houston on your website. But if for some strange reason you don't, get them on the page. If you're seeing something that your top competitor is getting traffic for, I would guarantee you that they have that word on the page somewhere. And if they don't, I'd be highly surprised. I'd be very surprised. All right, so in any case, what am I doing month number 2? I need to come in here. Okay, roofing company Houston TX. As we come down, these are all big. These are longer tail. These are keyword. I would consider these keyword. Roofing.com. Okay, so that's competitor. Coming down the line here, roofing contractor Houston TX. So roofing contractor. So now we're starting to talk about more of an LSI term, right? So you have all your primary or keywords are up here. Now we're starting to get into more of our LSI, and I'm also venturing to guess that it's going to be keyword plus location, which was up top here, right? Those are your bigger phrases. So as we're looking into month number 2, we're going to be branded. Okay, we're going to have our branded traffic. Okay, but we're going to start introducing our brand plus keyword traffic. Okay. And then, of course, we need to start introducing our keyword traffic. Okay. And then most of the time, depending on where most of their volume's coming from, there might be some. It's usually going to be keyword plus LSI. All right. Now, let's do our month number 3. Now, we've significantly increased our numbers. These numbers are increasing as we go. Let's move on into month number 3, okay? So we'll move this up in a second here, but let's copy this over. Paste, and bring this right here. This will be month number 3, okay? All right, we're going to do month 3. Okay, we got our nice little purple here. Month number 3. So month number 3, of course, we're keeping on our branded. We have our brand plus keyword. We have our keyword traffic, keyword plus LSI, and then you can start adding in, this is more of a maintenance. For sure, it's going to be maintenance. We're always going to have our branded, brand plus keyword, keyword traffic, right? Just keyword, keyword plus LSI. Then you're going to start doing your brand. Then you're probably going to be adding in your keyword plus location. Okay. It's pretty much the same thing. All right. 3-month campaign. These are going to be increasing as you go, matching and mirroring. So we should write that on here just so there's no increase until at top performers level. Month over month, you're increasing until you reach the level. All right. So the benchmark is set by the top performers. It's also much better to come up with a mean or an average for these particular keywords. That's how I teach it. For me, usually I just use this as a benchmark. That's me, though. A lot of times I'm just being lazy. That's just being honest with you. I'll just look at the top performer and make my decision based on that. I don't look at it as an exact science. That could be wrong on my behalf. I'm just telling you the truth. This is what I do. I come inside of here. I'm figuring out, well, what's the top performers branded traffic at? I'm going to hit about 25%, sometimes slightly higher, depending on where the competitor's at. Soon as I move into month 2, generally actually going to be week 3. Once I hit into week 3, I'm going to start introducing brand plus keyword, keyword traffic. I'm going to start adding in anything that's next. Any of those 5 could be on the list. Any of those 5 could be on the list, all in different orders. Depending on what's showing up for the top competitors is going to determine what I'm going to be sending in. It's as easy as that. When I hit month 3, I'm increasing significantly the amount of traffic that I'm sending. Why? Because I'm manipulating myself all the way up to reach the top performer. I'm trying to reach the same traffic. And as I'm doing this, if you're not seeing, because that's a big takeaway there. Because if I'm not seeing an also more impression share on my pages, I probably need to add more words to the pages or re-optimize my pages. But if I'm not steadily increasing impressions and clicks and traffic coming organically other than what I'm manipulating, then I start cranking it up on my side. But that on page has to be done. The only way that I'm going to jump past these numbers, like say 25% of the top performing website, is if I'm not seeing any organic change. That's the only flipping way. Is if I start running campaigns on branded, if I'm not getting other impressions, then I'll jump off. I'll take it to the moon. I'll hurry this process up. That's the only way though. Try it out for yourself. You know, you don't have to take my word for it. Literally, sign up a campaign, do 25%, do branded search terms first. Increase the brand. Make sure all of your on-page, like I cannot stress this enough, the foundation has to be there. You have to be a brand. You have to actually be a business for this to have any effect. Start the branded, start increasing the brand, and make sure your on-page is tuned. Make sure it's internally linked to a T. Make sure your navigational is containing the key phrases that your top competitors are getting the mass percentage of their keyword traffic for. Make sure those words are within navigational elements. It doesn't have to be inside of main navigation, but it could be inside of anchor text on the page, going to the pages that you offer those services on. You know, that's a big one. Man, I hope I covered everything. I tried to answer it as thoroughly as I possibly could. Let's take some questions. Hopefully there are some people here. Does anybody have any questions at all? Please ask the questions. If there's something that you do not understand, I will be more than happy to explain it much more. Anything that you want, you let me know. I'll cover it right now for you. If you're in the training and I can help you with something, ask me, please. I'll be more than happy to help you. Right now, I'll go through it. I'll do a full explanation. Anything that you need, let me know pertaining to website traffic, manipulating traffic, CTR, anything. Let me know. I'm going to use the bathroom when I come back. Please ask. I'll answer. I'll go in depth. I don't hide anything. No secondhand answers and crap. Like, I'll give you it straight. Let me know what you need and I'll do it for you. And I would have took those pages. I was gearing up for a Google My Business training. I went out and verified 4 different GMBs and ranked them all in less than a month, right? So if there's any question on if this stuff works, it works, right? And I would show, but I showed my New York one as soon as I got in position after 3 works, and somebody told on me, right? And then it got banned, right? So I don't want to show those, but I still currently have multiples out there that I ranked very quickly utilizing these methods. Also, like, does CTR work? Like, I had a page that was for CTR manipulation. I rewrote the page, right? I posted it not too long ago for CTR manipulation. And now, bam, right back to where I was, right underneath Wikipedia. That was all from clicks. There's no links going to this page. It's not a link thing. It's not even optimized that well, right? that's CTR. That was actually a very low amount of CTR. That's a slow campaign. A very particular type of traffic being sent to that page in order to jump up and above, right? So with that being said, in any case, let's see what we have questions about. Oh yeah, Thomas, that's what I'm saying. East to west, Chase and Chris are the best. Yeah, Chase is great, and I'm glad that you enjoy my information. I'm glad to be able to help a business owner. That's the goal at the end of the day. That's the goal. Looking crisp today as always. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Hey, Chris, there are several reasons to rank in Google, such as backlinks, but what is the order of click-through? Oh, that's a good question. Boy, oh boy, that's a good question. So you're so right. There's a lot of different things that equate to rank. Where is CTR on that map? Right? Like there's a lot of things that make up rank. That's a good short. There's a lot of things that make up rank, but what are their orders? Yeah, so here, how would I word that? There's a lot of things that equate to ranking, but where does CTR fall in that list? Let me go ahead and go through the most important to the least important of things that you need, and where does CTR fall on this particular list? So that's an excellent question. So in my personal opinion, I'm going to say content is number one. All right. And that includes optimization, internal links, right? Number two is going to be traffic, right? Unless I can signal to Google that the content that is on the page has any value, the only way to validate the value of the content is through the traffic, the dwell time, the click-through rate, the time spent on that article, the impression to click to dwell time ratio. What is that? That's the determining factor of, is it going to rank and is it going to stay ranked? Traffic / CTR are probably number two. I mean, I would venture to guess that technical, having a sound, fast, well structured, technical / structure, I don't know if that's right, is probably next. The technical, the speed, I guess your core web vitals, how the website is structured, the way it's formed, that goes big with the content, the optimization, the internal links. Do you have a good piece of content? When Google sends traffic to it, does it serve its purpose? Number three, can it be navigated? Is it fast? Is it nice? The design and all that stuff plays part into the traffic and the content. These three things really work together. I think that these are probably the top three. And then number four is going to be votes, from other sites. And then / referral traffic, right? Does that get a click? I would say that these are going to be your top four things in this order. I think that content is certainly number one. You have to have the words on the page in order to rank it. It has to be properly optimized with proper internal linking. The traffic and the CTR, definitely number two. A user signal, is it giving the information? Is it serving its purpose based on the content that you've written, right? Like Google ranks you, it shows an impression. How many people are clicking on that and how many people are satisfied? How many people are looking for another answer after they go to your site? If the answer is none, I guarantee you your page ranks. I've tested this numerous times. I've shown this test before. During the testing phase, if I can get traffic to that page quick, guarantee you I rank and I stay there, at least for a short period of time, right? And a short period of time for Google is 2 months, 3 months. You know, during the testing phase is crucial. There's something there. Number 3, technical and structure, man. Dude, guys, gals, you have no idea. Well, I'm sure you do, actually. The power of the structure of your site. Dude, that is so important. Like the speed and the technical / the structure. I guess structure could go with content optimization. I guess, you know, technical and structure really goes for number 1. Like your content, the optimization, internal links, the technical and the structure of the site is number 1. Number 2 is, are you satisfying the need? Number 3 is the votes from other sites. And more importantly, are they driving traffic? So that's the importance in that particular order. Hey, Chris. Okay. Maximo says, can you clarify branded keywords, services offered? Okay. Got it. Okay, so he answered that. All right. Jonathan says, can we still get into the CTR group with the phones? That's not public at this time. I ran a couple tests locally. Trying, before I sell it and offer it and put forth a chunk of money, we're testing. I want to see if I'm gonna get caught. I'm finishing the test. Give me a little bit of time. I just got all the phones. I just got all the licenses. I just got everything update. I just distributed some of the phones locally just to see if I can still get the same type of results. I want to see how long it takes. I want to see if there's uptime. I just want to test it out. You know, and the person that's testing it out is 50 miles from here. So like we are remotely utilizing these devices and they are being used as we speak. No questions asked. It is working. My question though, and what I'm really looking at and testing is there any interference? Is it going to get nabbed? Am I having any issues? We're testing out different platforms as well. I just want to see like how it works, how it performs. You know, is there any hiccups, anything that I'm not seeing? So yeah. All right. Unrelated question. Does embedding a YouTube rank a video higher in Google video results? If you embed a video onto a page that's heavily getting traffic, and you're getting clicks over, it will rank it higher. But it's not just the act of putting the video on a page doesn't increase its rank. But if it's on a page, like if I take my video, put it on the home page of Neil Patel's tool, and it starts driving traffic, you best believe that that video inside YouTube is going to skyrocket to the top of YouTube. Definitely. So yeah, when I put videos on just dead orphan pages, they don't do anything. When I put videos onto pages that are getting traffic and getting clicks, those videos do perform a lot better. Please meta description in Google Sites. I don't know what you mean by that. I need a link, Chris. I'll help test. No, it's not a link. It's not a link, buddy. They're physical. It's physical devices, Jonathan. All right. All right. So it looks like we covered everything. All right, then. All right. Well, I guess that's going to wrap it up for today. I guess everything's clear. I hope that everything's totally clear. So we have our 3-month campaign, increase until at top performers level. All right. So, and then we'll just move this up, right? That's Can't say it any better than that. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to move this up to here. We'll move this over. 3-month campaign. Month 1 is branded. This never shuts off, only increases. All right. And then I guess down here, what I'll do is I'll just write, Chris Palmer SEO on YouTube. And we'll do Chris at chrispalmermarketing.com. Right? All right. All right. We'll call this the CTR campaign. 3-month CTR campaign. All right. Any other questions? Anybody at all? PAIGN. I went in and I dropped the price on this particular training. If you're interested in the entire training, the walkthrough, you know, during this live, I went in here and I dropped it for everybody. So, you know, it's up to you. I'm sure, I'm hoping that you already have it. Whatever. Hopefully it'll help you. All right, Chris, can you explain how to build quality PBN? So where can I get the campaigns? All right, thanks for the info. Sure, big card, great to give it to you. How to build a quality PBN. Yay, glad to catch you live. Hey, Jen, yeah, I'm glad you're here. Good to see you. I need a link, Chris. I'll help test. Okay. So how to build quality PBN. Thanks for the info. So where can I get the campaigns, Chris? Chris, can you explain how to build a quality PBN? So something I've been doing, I mean, a quality PBN starts with quality websites, you know? So, I mean, that's a whole nother discussion for an entirely different day that my throat's not killing me. But the long story short of it is this. You don't skimp on the website. You pay auction. You're going to spend $200, $100 plus on every domain. If you could start with a quality domain that has never dropped, that still has pages indexed, then you're really on the grounds of creating a good quality PBN. A good quality PBN starts with good quality links, sites that only links to other quality domains. You know, I think that that's the massive difference between quality and unquantity. The guys that are selling general links, they're trying to sell as many as they can. They buy a general blog, they sell to everybody, right? It has tons of external links. I think that there's a massive difference between your PBN that's selling as much as they can, and then you have a PBN that was probably a $400 or $500 auction domain that only links to 15 people, usually more like 6 to 8 on a monthly recurring basis. They're rentals and they're very niche specific. It's just different models. It's just how different people do things. So like dust jacket review. Okay. This is a PBN. All right. So this is a low quality PBN. Okay. This is a $15 link. Okay. So this is general. Look at, you could see, look, here's the categories. They're even doing casino, the audacity, right? So like they're just being greedy here. This is pretty much the layout of your $10, $5 to $15 type links for PBNs. I don't know what this is. Let me see what the DA score is. I know it doesn't matter, but just to have a rough estimate. Let me take a look here. It's probably like a DA 25. Nope, it's a 16. Ha! Wow. Look at not secure. Let's see if they have a secure version. I'm assuming they should. Yep, DA16, a little bit of a spam score. So this is more like a $5 link. Maybe $8. They might get $8 for this. And then you'll see this. I noticed this a lot. All of these will have a lot of views. This is a tactic I see with these PBN providers. They'll sell these posts, and even on a higher power domain, they'll sell these posts. They'll spike it with views. It's not a good look, but this is generally what you get. You know, if you want to see what not to do, here's a good example of what not to do. All right. So this is not a good PBN, is what I'm getting at. All right, let me see here. Got it. I need CTR training. Where's the link? So up at the very top, I pinned it. I pinned the link. You can get it there. So that's that. So where can I get the campaign? So there you go. All right, so I'm going to hop off. I'm in the middle of incorporating a lot of different cloud elements into the drive stack training. I've tested it now, so I'm very confident in the results. My clients, you know, I've seen a lot of changes over the past 2 years. So we're just doing new things. So I want to pass on what I'm currently doing, and I'm going to give it to you guys. So be on the lookout. But thank you all so much. Hopefully I've answered your questions. I've broken down a 3-month campaign. I've talked about the 5 types of traffic. I might just hurry up and make a quick video, like a brief video, because this was live and it was a little bit longer than I wanted. So what I'll probably do is just make a 6-minute burst of information covering what we talked about on a long stretch today. All right, so it's been such a pleasure. Thank you all so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your effort, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I'll see you all then. Thank you all so much. Blessings. Enjoy your family. Have a great day. Goodbye.